forensic analysis. So hopefully, I don't think I'll be able to find anybody. I don't think, because they know what's going to happen when I try to go on the run. I go to a Target, I go to a Walmart, I go to a Best Buy, I buy a cell phone for $60. And it's a track phone. A track phone where I get a card, and when I use this card, it basically spends money, and it's not hooked up to the wireless like AT&T, none of these. And I start making safe phone calls. I don't know how they do this, but they will get to those phones. They go, I'm not kidding you, I've had crazy things happen to me when I was doing this. I was about 30. It was around the time I was living with my mother, with Marco, or not my mother, but her goddamn fucking twin, who's posing as her goddamn twin sister. And I was living with Marco for about a month, which is my half brother, and I don't know him very well, but I was living inside the apartment, and when I was living there, I went to a dollar store, and when I went to this dollar store, I was talking on the phone to the crisis line, and I forgot what I was, or I was looking on for track phones on Amazon, and I go to the family dollar store, and the second I open the store and I walk through there, they get a couple of people, open up a brand new box on the phone with nothing but track phones, with the card phones. You know, the little card, you put money on a card and you can use the phone. And they directly looked at me like they knew exactly what was going on. And they're literally opening up really fast, like this, and looking at me all crazy. And to let me know that I couldn't buy a safe phone. And that I don't know how they're doing it, because I've done this several times. But I think it's important for me to talk about, because it's prevented me from talking to several friends, and it's sabotaged me to the highest level of scopes with any communication of friends and family. That you don't understand what these people are doing to me, because the law enforcement absolutely does not want to get involved to do anything. They only want to retaliate against me. That's why I don't want to go to the police for anything or ask them questions, because they only want to threaten me. It's to make me look crazy, throw me in a mental hospital, and just keep running that cycle over and over and just play me stupid. They know what's going on, and they know who's doing it. And I don't know, everyone knows that law enforcement is the most corrupted people and agencies that can tap people's phones and all kinds of crazy shit. But I think it's worth a try for me to go, get one of those, what do they have, Frontier, phone companies. Airplane passes, season pass, where I can pay $500 or $600 and I can fly free from the United States everywhere in some very different cities, and just go into all these phones for cell phone tapping. It's going to cause a lot of attention at the airports. There's crazy chaos at the airports when I get there. I'm not kidding you. When I get there, the security guards, they all fucking know who I am. There isn't a coincidence. You have all these homosexuals that are showing up, surrounding me like hyenas. Stop! I'm not kidding you. This is what they're doing. Like chaos, like I'm a fugitive. But they're not there to help me. They're there as I'm a criminal. I'm a Osama bin Laden carrying a bomb to put on a fucking plane. This is how they act when I'm there. It's not polite, respectful. I go to the extent to be is what I'm told, as smooth as I can get, more than willing to do anything they say, to go through my bags. It doesn't matter. None of those things fucking matter. They treat me as an intruder, to persecute me and terrorize me. But to fly, go to these places and go to these companies to try to get cell phone knowledge, but you don't understand how tight this organization, how they have me on lockdown, that it prevents me from going to any places. I'm very nervous and kind of very scared that this individual has flown all the way from Lawrence, Kansas, where my sister was working, and now is threatening me and harassing me for 10 months living below me. and he was in the bathroom threatening me as I was literally having to run in there, and he was literally just looking at me like, smirking like, I'll make you shit whenever I tell you you're gonna fucking shit. This guy below me is on a murder-suicide. He's at 75 years old, 77. For him to be beating a young cancer patient with an electronic device and telling me I have to worship his Jesus, and telling me what religion, and beating the fuck out of me, and not allowing me to have comfortable sleep. I'm telling you, he's beating the fucking walls and the fucking his ceiling. I don't know how they're fucking doing it, but it's an electrical bolt that shoots at me. It's an electrical bolt, and it tasers me, my entire physical body. And they have different frequencies that they're shooting. Now, the number one thing to keep me safe is cell phone, because I'll be able to reach friends and other people and them safely picking up the phone and at least being able to talk normally, because every phone call that I make is completely hacked, that it sounds really staticky. And what they're doing to the cell phone is they're changing the sounds. They're changing the sounds in so many different ways that it's very difficult to. I'm going to make a video on this because they're hacking into my computer here, and it becomes impossible to function in any kind of goddamn way that these parasitical motherfuckers are doing. But like I said, I think it's important for me to talk about. So with this circumstance, I think that's a possibility. They have online seminars, they have digital classes. I don't think they have classes for normal people, and you have to have a GED at least. I don't think they have anything. I might be able to find some courses, but even in the online courses, since they have so much control over my life, they won't be safe. If I can't even take a GED course, I probably won't be able to take any of that. But I just know that there has to be some sort of evidence, or find out at least what legal matters they have over me and my cell phone privileges. Because my cell phone privileges have all been taken away from me. I'm telling you that I cannot talk on the phone with anyone comfortably. They literally change every sound when I talk to my mother's twin sister, who's posing as my mother. They make sure that the volume is somewhat pleasant. Okay? When I call Walmart, when I call any other office, they immediately make it very staticky and violent. And I was like, what the fuck? Because it's a way to whiplash me, to discipline me and train me like an animal. What I can and cannot do, and what feels comfortable and what isn't. This is completely aside from the electronic devices that's physically beating me, okay? Someone else, or whoever it is with the team, is shooting these electronic, physically beating me like it hurts. It physically, like 3 seconds ago, I just felt somebody shoot me now on my right heel. And I talk about this because, Michaela, I don't know if our biological father is still alive. I don't know how you feel. I don't know what the circumstances. But this guy downstairs, this worthless piece of shit, is targeting you in this immediate family situation. This is what he's doing. Since I have been here, this motherfucker was at Lawrence Community Shelter harassing me in the fucking bathrooms and following me. This is a murder-suicide. He wants to do as much as harm and damage and control me before he's out the door, before he dies. This guy is 77 years old. He's fully functional. If you watch him walk and watch him, he's never said anything. Really any words at all. I don't want to talk to him. He's fully functional. Fully aware about what this motherfucker is doing. What he's going around beating me, throwing these electrical bolts in my fucking body. But he's targeting the circumstance, the fact that you showed up there, like several other people. But he's directly doing it in the home or the place that I live in, this apartment that I live in. Now, I think it's important because it's going to be murder-suicide people like him that is going to go after your family and is going to go after anybody that they can make it very toxic and negative. So only things are likely aroused to be negative and bad. He wants either our biological father, the communication with, if he's still alive, between you and me, our biological father and my biological mother, and the parasitical twin sister my mother has, and figure out how they want to benefit, how it's going to work for them. This is not to benefit me at all. This is to harm me and to intoxicate and sabotage me. This is all this is. So please be careful. If this person is willing to fly from Lawrence, Kansas all the way to Vermont and live in an apartment, the apartment complex management team here is involved in this. And the individual's name is Amanda Hilliker. This is the person that's involved in this. Now, the maintenance people are involved in this. I've had video footage of them taunting me. Y'all had this on video on YouTube, but anyway, as far as it goes with this analysis, this is what you don't understand. I'm going to be basically running on a wild goose chase knowing that I'm going to be sabotaged. I'm going to fly to fucking, Seattle, Washington again, or fucking North Dakota, or fucking Montana. I go to a fucking place, spend 2 weeks trying to fucking get there, suffering on the fucking airports, fucking having to sleep there, eat, a bag of chips for $15, people coming in and out, all kinds of noise, traffic, not getting any proper rest, no privacy, being forced to shit and be shot with the electronic devices there. Get there to the forensic analysis offices if I can find one, because they all seem to be online and they all seem to not have an office, but I'll have to look this up. I know there is in the United States somewhere. And then they'll sabotage me. When I get there, they'll all the work and effort, and they'll be nasty, cutthroat, manipulative. And not only that, let's say they're willing to say, okay, we'll take your phone, let's take a look at it. I'll have to pay somebody $1,000 like a minimum. Forensic analysis, a minimum is like $1,000. Okay, minimum. For them to be able to lie to me like that. All they have to say, we didn't find anything. How are you going to go get lawyers? You have to go for another forensic analysis. And then they'll use that forensic analysis, then tell me that one was telling you the truth, and then that one is lying too. So they steal my money and make me believe I have no hope. So this is why I think it's important. I can't call 911 on the phone. I don't know who's responsible for doing this. I've had a murder attempt, and that has never left me. That has never left me. I'm telling you that for the first 5 years, that murder attempt that was placed on me, people began to use that. It was all these whites that were saying racial shit as well, and there were faggots and transgenders, began to use that circumstance so that they can let me know that they can do it. The police officer that was smirking and laughing, I don't find that humorous. And when I was covered in blood, I was literally walking down the street and I saw a police officer. He didn't see my front, but I turned around from a far distance and I saw him drive by, and I was covered in blood right when it happened. I was walking to my mom's front doorstep. Not my mom's, her fucking twin who's posing as her, as I didn't know that it was my mother had an identical twin sister. And I was covered in blood, and the police officer looked at me. And he looked at me like, yeah, like that's what you fucking get. We'll do murders when we want. We can send whatever we want, beatings when we want it. I didn't want to say anything. And that was why I didn't want to call the police. That was one of the reasons I didn't want to call the police. And, but anyway, like I said, it's a wild goose chase, but I don't have anything else to do. Live on the streets, spend every penny I have to give gifts to people, and try to get them to either assist and understand about what's happening. This is not a mental psychosis. I'm eventually going to die and develop cancer. I will be getting terminal cancer or organ failure, where I'm going to go in a hospital. And I have to try to fetch my freedom in my life. They do not want me alive. I'm having somebody threaten my life over at the Market 32 that's an employee. These employees are not even employees. They're finding people off the street that just work there for a day. I'm not joking. This is very serious, but I don't have anything that's worth a try. Something I haven't tried before to try fetch out to prove the evidence. or get answers.